Right, welcome back again. It's the Sunday bunch, and you know the drill by now. If you want a Sunday lunch, come down to the Hastings Hill and down to see George and the crew. Lovely dinners. Had first-hand experience, very nice. On the panel today, before I say that anyway, George let us have this room, so I say thanks to George. Thanks for letting us have this room. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Right, on the panel today we've got Michael Bowers.
Alright guys.
Mr. Sean Middleton. And Dean Elgar.
The dynamic duo behind all the interviews.
I just pinched it. Yeah. And myself a mad mistake. So we'll start today with we'll discuss the 5-0 win on Tuesday against Tranmere. Now, I'm going to start off by saying a lot of Tranmere fans that I met were absolutely fantastic. Really friendly, really good bunch of fans. One of them actually gave us a scarf, which I was really pleased with. Most of them did say they had a lot of injuries and they didn't expect to get any points at all against Sunderland, so they predicted themselves that they would have a bad result against Sunderland. So was a 5-0 win, was it expected from Sunderland fans? Did we really expect to go and beat Tranmere easily? Did we deserve it? I think after the first 15 minutes we played really good football, but for the first 15 minutes I thought it was touch and go. I thought Tranmere had one or two really good chances and it could have gone either way. So, to be honest, I thought Tranmere were hard. It was hard lines from Tranmere. They had a really good 15 first minutes, and then we dominated after that. And we had good performances from Watmore, Will Grigg, Max Power, Chris Maguire. I mean, it was a good all-round team performance. Gooch played really well. It's a shame Gooch was injured yesterday. So we'll start with Michael. What was your thoughts on Tuesday's match against Tranmere?
Well, to go with the mini questions that you asked, which was basically, did we deserve the win? Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, look, if they had injuries. Yeah, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. To be honest, that's the type of result we should be getting even with their first team out, with all due respect to Tranmere. Remembering that Tranmere beat Coventry 2 results before they played us, no easy feat. So, and I don't know how many of their players that were injured, supposedly injured against us, were playing then. But it was a good all round performance. It was good to have 5 different goal scorers. It was good to get the clean sheet at long last, even though we didn't follow it up yesterday. But You could argue on one sense it does paper over the cracks, but I just think you've got to. Again, you can only beat what's put in front of you, And it's amazing. Actually, what I will say is, people seem very quick to dismiss victories because we didn't play great. When I know we'll get onto yesterday in a bit, but when we lose a game, it's we lost and that's the end of it. Right? We can't have it both ways. We need to have a bit of a middle ground here. So. We won the game. And that's really what we won the game. You could argue, 0-0. We weren't very good, but once we got the first goal, we hit into our strides. What we can do, but hopefully Phil Parkinson instills that in future games.
So, do you think we're a better team with McGeady or without McGeady?
I was waiting for this question. We were talking in the car on the way back, weren't we? Because these two are misfortunate enough to have to drive me there and back. But thanks very much to you for that, first of all. I didn't buy into this theory that we were better without McGeady, but I'm actually, after looking at it yesterday, I'm starting to believe that we actually might be, because what everyone seems to do when McGeady's on the pitch is, right, crap, McGeady's on the pitch, right, let's pass to him, he'll do something, doesn't happen, right, we'll do it again, okay, he hasn't done it, right, we'll do it again, it's got to come off this time. No one else seems to want to take responsibility, and I'm not saying I don't want McGeady in the team, because it's a shame if it has to come to that, but at the minute, you can't ignore the fact, MK Dons, when we beat them, scored 2 good goals, we beat Tranmere 5-0, in the Cups, McGeady hasn't been on the pitch. Is that a coincidence? It might very well be, but is it a coincidence?
Well, Michael, yes, you predicted 2-0 victory for Sunderland, so it was close, 5-0.
Me and Sean rubbed it in Dino's face, and we both thought we said we wouldn't get a clean sheet.
And you got a clean sheet, well done. Well done, predicted a clean sheet.
You know what it was?
Always wanted.
It was an inch, you hit the post.
Was it a good save?
Oh, it was a good save. I had a good angle, it was a terrific save.
Right, so Dean, what was your thoughts on Tuesday's match, and who was your man of the match as well?
Well, it was a good victory, but people need to realise I did say we should be smashing Tranmere because where they are in the league. If we want to go up, we should be smashing teams like that. We did. I'm very happy we kept a clean sheet, even though we're that close not to. But like you say, Lee Burge, being the keeper he is, he made 2-3 good saves that game. Man of the match, I'm not even going to give it to one player because the whole team deserved it because 5 different goal scorers.
Yeah.
That's a rarity.
Yeah.
But for me, Greg looked a totally different player, and I said to you before the game, didn't I? When I seen you, I says, watch Greg. He's a totally different player under Parkinson. He is Ross, and he assists a goal. People forget he set up Watmore's goal,
football,
and then he scored himself, even though it was a tapping. But like you say, you've got to be there at
You've
the
got to be
time.
there.
Worked hard, he deserved the goal.
And, but like you say, like people are going, oh, great win. But it's Tranmere, and then look what happened yesterday.
I had an interesting comment yesterday saying that Will Grigg still carrying an injury, and in between, I think it was in between the Tranmere match and the match yesterday, he was limping around a lot. So, do you think he's got an injury? And if he did, should he be playing yesterday?
Well, who else do you put up front?
McNulty?
Well, that's true, but McNulty's still coming back to match fitness as well, isn't he? So
how about Jordan Willis? He's got a bit of pace. Let's stick him up top.
I think he's our quickest player.
Do you know what, the game on Tuesday against Tranmere I thought was the best we've played for a long time. I mean, watching it, I've never seen us play so good. Once we got the first one and the second one, I just, normally when you watch us, we're going to go and we're nervous, we're on edge. I didn't have that. We got a goal, then we want to get a second one, want to get a third, want to get a fourth, and then want to get a fifth. That was just the whole time was just brilliant that night. Like, I mean, the free kick was class. I mean, some of the goals was brilliant, and I think Dobson in the middle was class. Power play well. The back four kept a clean sheet. Obviously, I missed the last goal, 09's header. I nearly missed the Griggs goal because I was just going down the steps. Just about to get out, and then he put the ball in the net. So I was like jumping him down, celebrating. But honestly, I just seen a different team that night than what I've seen the whole of last season. I just seen a team that was positive, want to not just sit on one goal, get a second, get a third, get a fourth, which we should be doing in this league. And I thought we were absolutely brilliant on Tuesday night.
That was the main thing, wasn't it? We didn't sit back after 3-0.
Exactly.
We kept going. Nobody was sitting back, and that was the best thing to see. Even yesterday. We're up the pitch all the time. We always seem to be up the pitch. So that you can see the difference with him. Do you know what I mean? And it's no coincidence that Will Griggs scored and we've kept a clean sheet. And we've kept a clean sheet. It's no.
Yeah,
no
I mean, what you said about the smashing result against Tranmere, like even though you said at home, those are the type of results we should be getting.
We should be
even not necessarily 5-0, but I mean like 2-0, 3-0. We should be getting comfortable home victories. And again, I've said it many times, it isn't arrogant, it isn't smug, it's called having expectations. We want to go up, we should be expecting that at home.
Did you not think at half time though, when we came out against Tranmere, the first 15-20 minutes we didn't really attack? And they came at us, or did
there was a long period. Yeah, exactly. There was a long period of the second half where it was 3-0. I said to me mates at the time that when Tranmere was starting to have a bit of the ball, they weren't doing as much with it apart from the save you mentioned. But we were sitting back to a point, but I didn't really feel like they were going to score for most of it. And even so, I said I would have took not scoring another goal just to make sure, because that clean sheet. Well, at the time I said that would be massive for us to get into the habit of it.
And Lee Burge's reaction when he did that save, you see him?
Oh no, yeah.
Maybe the plan was because they've got to go for it now, don't they? So maybe he said first 10, 15, 20 minutes just they're going to come out where just defend. They'll wear themselves out. We get the ball, we keep the possession, and we'll do our own thing. And like you say,
that fits into that theory because the last 2 goals came in the last 10 minutes, didn't they?
Exactly.
So Sean, you predicted 3-0.
I was going to say, honestly, I was going to say 5-0, but I went,
No, Sean, put your scoreline and mine together. What score does that make?
5-0.
5-0. High five. There you go.
And me and Dean predicted 3-1. So we all predicted home wins. Now, in my preview for the match against Shrewsbury, I did say I was taking that result with a pinch of salt until we can actually go away and put a performance in away from home. So now we're going to dissect yesterday's loss against Shrewsbury. Michael, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts on the game yesterday against Shrewsbury Town?
I thought it was a fantastic result. I think it's a result of our season. Losing 1-0 away at Shrewsbury Town. Absolutely brilliant. In all seriousness, I did say on the panel last week against Tranmere we keep a clean sheet, and Shrewsbury we wouldn't keep a clean sheet because, as you say, going away from home is I know Dean's not a fan of the home and away thing, but it can play a factor. Like playing Shrewsbury at home, they're up against one of, if not the biggest teams in this league. They're up against a team that, really, that they hadn't beaten in their history before yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I could be wrong on that. Something like that. So,
It's on the radio,
it's easy to see. I tell you what, I noticed yesterday, because I listened to a few previews going into the Shrewsbury game, and the consensus was that from their perspective, they don't seem to score much, but they don't concede much either. So to concede to them isn't good enough. However, I could tell that even though we did hit the woodwork a couple of times, I did notice there was a rigid structure and shape to their defence. So fair play.
The resilient one,
but in saying that, I was really negative immediately after yesterday's game. These two can testify to that. I felt a bit dejected after the game, because I kind of felt like, well, what was the point of Tranmere if you can't be bothered to follow it up at Shrewsbury? But then I look back at the highlights. I was like, actually, no, we created a good few chances in that game.
16 shots.
16 shots, and 2 on target, but 3 of them hit the post and the bar.
Well, exactly. So in effect, 3 of those 16 off target hit the post. So. Straight away on another day, if we had a bit more luck, it would have gone our way. But ultimately we lost the game, so we need to go back to the drawing board. And Donald Love got one over on us, so fantastic.
I don't particularly care about Donald Love and all that malarkey, but
no love lost there.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit dejected yesterday after that defeat. I could personally see it coming. I really could, because I don't think we're the same team away from home that we are at home.
But why
do you think that is?
I just don't know what it is. I just don't think we are at this moment in time. Sometimes it works the other way around. Do you two think we're better without McGeady or with McGeady before we just dissect the game?
For me, I think we're better without McGeady, because there's more of a balance. Yesterday I was fuming with McGeady. Hume was running past players left, right and centre. He was waiting for McGeady to make the run just down the line to give him an option, and he just wasn't doing it. He was standing still, and I went, what's he doing? He was standing still, and then he gets the ball and loses it, doing stupid little flicky passes he does.
And even then, the one good chance he had, he blazed way over the bar with a player of his quality.
I'm not being funny. If you think you're a good player and you think you're the best player in the league, and you can't hit the target from 8 yards out,
6-yard box though, wasn't it?
8 yards. He didn't even hit with his laces. He hit it with the side of his foot.
I think you took a touch.
He could have took a touch, but then if the touch goes away from him, then everyone goes, why didn't you shoot first time? So for me,
it's a hindsight thing that
to shoot first time and not get on target from that position is pathetic. I'm sorry, but if you think you're a better player what you are, you should be hitting the target at least.
I've been quick to criticise Denver Hume, but yesterday I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was our best player, and I thought, watching it down that side, I felt sorry for him, because McGeady was not doing a job. When you're a left winger, right, if your left back goes forward, you've got to help him out and gang back. Exactly. McGeady's not helping his mate out. He's just asking for the ball, like Dane said, he's looking for runs. But Denver Hume and McGeady's just not finding them. So Denver Hume's doing his job, but then we haven't got the ball as well. If Denver Hume's gone forward, he loses it, and McGeady's got to bust the gut and get back, and he's not doing that. He's not even doing that either.
But even then, what did we say when we came here off air? It's basic covering. It's basic that McGeady would give Hume the licence to go forward, but then McGeady tracks back a little bit. But every time Hume had the ball and he was trying to get forward, I noticed this quite a few times actually. There were players off the ball we were not taking responsibility whatsoever. Every time we stood off, every time players off the ball were standing off Shrewsbury. Or I felt sorry for him, because Hume, there was one chance in the second half, a couple of times in the second half, where Hume had the ball and he could have fed it down the channels, and if someone had bothered to make the proactive run, stay on side but make the run, we would have easily created a better chance out of that. And
you know who made the run? Once, twice, 3 times? Greg? Was Greg Dean on the wing? He's not on the wing.
I know, and even then, Greg should not be on the wing. He should be in the box.
Exactly. So for me, McGeady had a shock. I watch McGeady now, and I'm looking at him and going, Hume dribbles with the ball and he actually runs past players. McGeady doesn't. He does a step over and just creates space to the side to either cross it or he doesn't get past the player.
It's no good having a step over if he can't do anything with the ball.
Exactly. I think McGeady's just on the decline. I think he's not even the best player.
You said this a few weeks back, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't believe in the.
He's got me thinking that now. Like Dean said this a few weeks ago. You said it. I think you said you think he's on course.
Even so, I still think McGeady should be delivering better than he is.
Of course,
easily.
He's starting to become an Oviedo.
Back to the question: do you think he's better are we better with him or without him?
Without him.
It encourages players to take more on themselves and take more roles on themselves.
Does anybody think he'll start next match? Not that Oxford match, the Southend match.
He still probably will.
Yeah, he probably will.
I think Phil Pattinson will stand for it much longer, because his job is going to be, his reputation's there, isn't it?
Well, hopefully he's not scared to drop the player who's supposed to be well-looking player.
Gooch is out for a while now.
Injuries are going to dictate whether he plays or not, I think.
Exactly. So Gooch is out for a while, is he?
I think
it didn't look good.
Parkinson has said he was definitely going to miss Shrewsbury, but I don't know if he said it, but that was just an initial update. I don't know whether we're going to get more in it in the days to come.
Either,
you know what the worst thing is? I slate Gooch all the time. I criticise him all the time, and now I'm actually wanting him in the team.
Right, he had a good game against Tranmere.
That's what it's come to.
And you did say you'll see an improvement in Gooch with a new.
I said I wouldn't be shocked under Parkinson this season if he stays fit that Gooch will actually, his performances will get better.
Speaking of injuries, what's your opinions on Burge? Does anybody know what's wrong with Burge?
I should have asked him. We've seen him after the game.
Was it a muscle strain?
It was just a strain. It was
a calf strain or something.
A calf strain.
Apparently, I didn't notice it myself, but in the first half, people were saying that he was limping. Apparently,
we seen him after the game because we were doing interviews and the team bus was there, and he limped out, didn't he? And I should have asked him. I should have what's wrong with you.
Stick the microphone. Excuse me, for SAFC Fan TV, why are you injured?
But sticking McLaughlin in goal isn't a bad option either. You know what I mean?
It's a soapy step.
Well, I'm hoping that Burge getting in goal a couple of games, giving McLaughlin the kick up the arse he needs.
I'm starting to really like Burge now.
I am.
I like him.
We never seem to get luck with injuries half the time, do we? And just when someone's starting to play well, it's like, he's out for a couple of weeks. Like, come on, really?
Now, I only saw the highlights yesterday. I didn't go down like used to be top loyal Sunderland fans.
Right, spoiler, we lost the game 1-0. Shrewsbury took one of their few shots on goal.
So, I watched the goal over and over again, and I cannot believe how much time and how many players, Sunderland players, there was there to stop that cross from coming over, stop the ball from going in the back of the net. Why isn't the defenders or the midfielders taking responsibility to stop this from happening? It was an absolute ridiculous goal to let in. Unbelievable goal to let in.
This is his Wickham rant 2.0, this.
I can't be bothered to rant. I just saw two of them on the wing, and one of them was...
Jason Cummings put the ball in. I think it was Luke O'Nine's fault.
I'll give Cummings credit. I'm usually the first. I've said it before. I'm quick to criticise the defence when we can see the goal. I did think I'll give Cummings credit. It was a good finish.
Good finish.
Good finish. That way he got his foot on the turn and actually managed to slot it home. But
the cross should have been
exactly. The cross should have been stopped. One, the cross should have been stopped.
And Dobson and somebody else.
Who was it that was right in front of Cummings when he had the shot? Who was right in front of him?
We had Luke O'Nine, we had Lynch, and we had Willis there. And then you had Dobson and somebody else stopping the cross from coming over. Now, Dobson should have put his foot in. He did it on Tuesday, picked up a yellow card. But that was because he was behind the player. But surely he can get a tackle in there before that ball's crossed over.
I mean, it still looked a very soft goal from our perspective. You can see, if you're a Shrewsbury fan, you'll probably look at it and think, well, actually, that's a well-worked goal. But
good finish.
We'd be saying this if it was the other way around. But yeah, it was... It was frustrating because again, like most goals we can see, they could easily have been prevented.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, was it Denver Hume that was sort of just behind the person who scored the goal, Cummins, and tried to put the tackle in?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be in power,
Was it power?
But it might have been because if we're playing a 4-2-3-1, if you're two whole midfielders, them should be on the edge of the box anyway.
I'm not really blaming anybody individually. Just that cross shouldn't be coming over from one of those two should stop the cross coming over.
For me,
and one of the six in the box should be marking.
When I seen the team again, I said it to you as well on the Tuesday game. 09 right back. I don't like him right back. He's not a right back. We've got a right back. Everyone says McLaughlin's not playing well. Well, he's not going to be able to play any better if you keep him on the bench for a player who's a natural centre mid. And people were arguing with us saying that they think he's the best right back. Get away, man.
09 is better than McLaughlin, man. I'm sorry. When McLaughlin came on against Tranmere, I think it was McLaughlin, he got skinned straight away. I'm sorry.
Well, look what happened yesterday. Cummins skinned 09 straight away, and you said that was way too easy. I'm not being funny. 09's not a right back, and he got exposed yesterday, I'm telling you.
I'm sorry, but that's one occasion where 09's got skinned.
Plenty of times.
No, I'm sorry. 09 has been good at right back consistently since he's been forced into a position where he hasn't been playing. McLaughlin, almost every single game, has nearly been at fault for Sunderland goals, or has been out of position, or not marking his
Well, I agree with playing players in the proper positions. We were debating this for ages and ages and ages and ages about why is 09 playing right back, but now all of a sudden Parkinson's came and he's playing right back. No one's got nothing to say about it. But yet when Ross was in charge, everyone was absolutely fuming he was right back.
That's a good point.
That's fair enough.
So people are contradicting themselves. For me, I like him further up the pitch. He adds more energy. Look what he done at Tranmere when he went up centre mid or right wing. He scored a goal.
It's exactly the same thing when I've said that whenever we win a game, everybody picks it apart ridiculously. Like, we won because with this happened, this had happened, and then when we lose a game, we're just lost. That's it.
But even Tranmere, even when we won, I still didn't agree putting 09 right back. I still don't. He's not a right back.
No, but the point I was making was that fans contradict themselves all the time on certain circumstances.
Of course. Yeah,
so I agree with you. That is very annoying. It's very annoying.
Right. So I think Luke O'Nine is in the side because everybody likes Luke O'Nine. He plays really good football. He's a good team player. He's one of the best players on the pitch. And I think to accommodate getting the rest of the forward line and forward-thinking midfielders on the pitch, he's put Luke O'Nien for me at right back and dropped Conor McLaughlin. Personally, I'd rather play Conor McLaughlin at right back and play Luke O'Nien further up the field, but Luke O'Nien isn't a bad substitution as a right back. I think he does a decent job, but personally I'd say him further forward. But I think that's the reason why he plays Luke O'Nien, because you kind of drop somebody who's playing so well, and you want Maguire in the team, and you want Gooch in the team, and you want other players in the team.
Systems, yeah.
So I think he's just got him there. He's got somebody. He's got to play him somewhere. You can't drop him simple as. So he's playing him at right back, and it's easier to drop Conor McLaughlin than Luke O'Nien. That's just my personal opinion. Apparently yesterday you mentioned some trouble outside the ground. Was it before the match?
It was like a scene out of FIFA 8 out of Football Factory or Green Street. It was ridiculous.
It was we were just in the thick of it, like literally.
So what happened? How did it start?
We were in the car park, and it was the Wild Pig, the pub. I didn't know this, but there was half it was Shrewsbury on the right, and on the left was the Sunderland fans. I went to the toilet, come out, and obviously
this was about 2:20, wasn't it?
Obviously, Michael and Paul already went, so we were just getting stuff, getting ready. We're walking out, and the Sunderland fans start obviously
singing like
abuse,
banterish kind of thing, and then
they
their
just start
fans
towards each other, and then I went, it's going to kick off here.
So we started walking away. We had police escort. We had horses behind. We had about 15-20 police walking on the side, and then there's a big road with a big roundabout. We're crossing the roundabout, and then also about 40 fans came from the left hand side, jumping over the barrier to get onto the road, which is the main road, by the way.
There's cars going past.
So police, horses and everything ran over.
We were right in the middle. I mean, there was this lass who was next to us, and she was absolutely petrified, like, wasn't she? The lass, I actually felt sorry for her, and her boyfriend wasn't helping, like, because he was hurling abuse. You know, if that was my partner, I'd be putting my arm down and trying to calm her down. And she was actually shitting herself, wasn't she?
And
don't blame her.
And I must admit, the police,
they're being idiotic.
The police done a.
The police were absolutely brilliant.
They're unreal.
I
don't know, like, not many people like praise the police because there's a lot of criticism behind the police, but they've done a fantastic job yesterday.
They put themselves on the line a lot. In a lot of the situations, they put themselves in themselves in dangerous situations to keep the public safe.
But I didn't.
So you're describing. So basically, what you're describing. Well done to if there's any Shrewsbury lads somehow watching this. Well done.
But that was probably the most.
Excellently.
I didn't know there was a bit some kind of history there.
Like for me,
Sunderland and Shrewsbury being leagues apart, and then all of a sudden we go there, and someone actually said it was worse there than actually going to Mags away. He says it was that hostile. He's never seen it like that, and accordingly, well, this is what you said. Someone's coat got slashed with a knife. In the pub
it was because I was talking to the Klinger who works in Nissan, and she was her mate. They went outside in the sports thing or something, and this Shrewsbury fan went past her. And as a blatant thing that a coach, she put it on Twitter, you could see that where it's been.
It was a clean knife, wasn't it?
Literally cut a coat open. I'm thinking, man.
It's a game of football, man.
You know what I'm saying? There's kids and stuff. It's absolutely disgusting. People who carry weapons or knives, anything. You know what I mean? When there's kids, people love football. You take your kids to football to watch football, and you got idiots like that who's carrying weapons and stuff, man.
Anybody who takes a knife to a football match or anywhere like that probably should be locked up for 6 months.
Exactly, mate.
All about
individuals. You're fantastic.
So I'm sorry, individuals thinking of doing this, don't. Take responsibility and actually think with your brain. Don't. Because it'll just end badly.
So yesterday's predictions. Who's MM? Oh, it's me, right? I said 1-0 home win. No, a 1-0 away win. So I predicted the wrong prediction. Just the wrong way around.
You seriously need to stop getting the score right.
I know. Dean, you predicted 2-1 to Sunderland.
I did. I thought we would concede, but I thought we'd score. And on another day, it could have been 2-1 because, like you say, we'll create chances. But
Sean, you said 2-0 Sunderland, and Michael, he said 2-1 Sunderland.
Me and Dino said the same scoreline.
So, what's your thoughts yesterday on? I was going to say Michael Parkinson there. Thoughts yesterday on Phil Parkinson's formation. I thought it was 4-2-3-1. Was that right?
I don't know.
I thought it was 4-4 and 1-1. I thought it was the same on Tuesday night. I thought Maguire was just playing off Grigg.
And was it correct?
Well, I assumed it was just the same way we played against Tranmere, just with McGeady instead of Gooch.
Yeah. But when you play with McGeady on the in a 4-4-1-1, it doesn't work because McGeady's not the player to get up and down.
But then McGeady was switching with Maguire. McGeady was going just behind Grigg as well. But notice that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there must have been changing. Like McGeady went behind. He was like the number 10 playing just behind Grigg, trying to fade him. Yeah. Then Maguire was, so they were switching.
I must admit though, the lack of movement in that team was very scary because we weren't moving. I didn't see Power once burst a run from midfield to go by. Like it looked like he'd been basically said, don't go across the halfway line again. But then obviously when we went 1-0 down,
same about Dobson, I suppose though.
Yeah. They were both playing the same role. They both were playing the same role. Why? Why are both of them dropping all the time? One of them's got to be further forward than the other, because that means it was a negative. It was negative, but then obviously you had to push them on when we went 1-0 down.
Yeah, I can understand one of them sitting back, but as long as the other one's going to support the forward lines, so even if, say, you had Power sitting back, just an example, and you have Dobson go forward, you've got Dobson, then you have McGeady, Maguire, Watmore and Grigg. That's 5 players that are attacking that are going towards their penalty box.
So what system would you have started yesterday?
That depends on what players you've got available, really. Well, obviously, I still agree with the flat back 4, and obviously, well, now it's got to be John McLaughlin, hasn't it? I'd still stick with the back 4 as it is. This is the thing, because, Phil Parkinson did say before the game, didn't he, that he wanted us to play against Shrewsbury like with a home team, not the away team. So to do that, do we need, like Dino said, fair enough, do we need 2 sitting midfielders?
No, not in this league. Not the 14th.
One's got to be enough. One. If you're going to need any, one's got to be enough. And for me, I still think that should be Power. He should be the one that just sweeps things round, gets things, just the simple things, feeds it to the attackers that can then get things taken over.
So you're saying Power is a better at sitting than Dobson? Does Power not be more effective going forward?
I'd rather have Power going forward because he actually can shoot.
Can you not say Dobson could go forward?
I'm really saying Dobson go forward much apart from Tuesday when he was against Tranmere.
I don't know whether that's down to instructions as well.
I think Dobson just plays the defensive.
I've obviously seen Power go forward more.
I wouldn't be against I wouldn't be against trying it.
That shot the shot that Power had, I thought was in the top corner. The keeper made a tremendous save, didn't he? Tipped it onto the bar.
So what would you actually do? Would you put Dobson a bit further deep and then have Power try and push?
Because Power's more powerful.
He's got a better shot.
Is that a pun intended there, by the way? Power's more powerful.
No, it wasn't. No, but we've got a problem with Dobson. Every time I've watched him, he's getting a yellow card. That's not a good thing. That
nice.
I know. He's got one yesterday. Yes, he did.
He set him foul. He was in the second half.
Which I'll very quickly point out, if that was a Shrewsbury player, the ref would have let it go. But carry on.
The referee's terrible.
Yeah. But on the referee, if the rules are there for a reason, right? The keeper was taking the absolute piss. He was doing his laces. He might as well have his Sunday dinner. It was ridiculous, right?
I'm pretty sure all the Shrewsbury fans would have seen me look like a mug, because the referee was obviously staring towards the away end, basically. I know he wasn't looking at the away end, but he was looking in the direction of the away end to look at the keeper. And I kept going over and over again.
Well, he can't see you.
Well, I know, but I don't care. I don't care. I was going to try and do that anyway. But the point was, how many times, about 7 or 8 occasions, he was taking 10 seconds, 15 seconds. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have my rant here. When the hell are referees going to stamp this out? Come on. How many times are players allowed to just get away with time wasting and going the clock down, which isn't playing the game? I understand why players do it, but it's annoying as I was really going to swear there. It's annoying as anything when you're getting beat. And if you're doing it over and over and over again, why aren't referees booking players?
For me, the referee, right? They make substitutions. The rule is you go off the nearest part of the pitch. He didn't. He let him walk all the way across on 3 of the substitutions when he's right next there. So what's the referee getting paid for? I'm not being funny. The keeper's taking absolute piss on everything. Goal kicks, even just kicking the ball out. He had a conversation with the ball boy at one stage. I was going, "Are you taking the absolute piss here?" The referees need to stop. If it's 6 seconds, give me a yellow card. I've never seen time wasting. The game might as well have been a 60-minute game, because half an hour at the time, but wasting time. It's a joke, and the referees need sacking if they're not doing the job properly.
And by the way, I don't blame, in that situation, I don't blame Shrewsbury for running down the clock. I'll make that clear. You're winning a game against Sunderland, and however much we didn't score yesterday, obviously, they know that we've got the players to score at any given time. So of course they're not going to go out and rush their goal kicks and everything. But there draws a line where, when majority what the keeper was doing was time wasting towards the end of the game, come on, the referee has got to show more of a backbone to this. And it's not just exclusive to Shrewsbury, it's any team that plays anybody.
Was it the last 10 minutes? To me, it was the 50th minute.
It might as well have.
When they were 1-0 up, it was non-stop, and the referee done nothing.
And even what you said, I hate when people just go, "Oh, well, these are League One referees, what do you expect?" No, they're still professional referees employed by the FA. They should know what rules are, they should know how to clamp down time wasting, they should know what a yellow card, a red card is, a penalty, a free kick. They should know the basic rules. They should know to have an authority on the game, stamp out whatever's going on in the game and control it. And not hardly any referees, since I've seen us drop down to League One, have any control over anything.
Last week at Wickham, right, there was a head injury. I can't remember who it was. It was 2 players went down with head injuries, right? The rule is, if the physio comes on, you go off the pitch. He didn't send them both off the pitch. Our player and their player, they both just got up and played. The rules are there for a reason. Why are you not getting them both off the pitch? It's a head injury.
Exactly.
That could be serious.
Thing is, right, we had 16 shots, hit the woodwork 3 times. We probably could have played another 45 minutes. We probably wouldn't have scored. Yeah. I think it's just some days you got to
keep it with a time.
Some days you just got to say, look, wasn't our day. Right, yeah. So were we just unlucky?
Definitely. We didn't have Lily looking on our side. Just, I mean, to hit the woodwork 3 times, that says it all for me. I mean, somebody up there wasn't much.
And even a couple of times in the second half. I think it was Hume again, or even McGeady to be fair, were drilling the ball across the box. And again, this comes down to taking responsibility. If someone gambles on it and just gets a foot on it, it's 1-1 straight away. So, but even then, I was quite like I said earlier, I was quite negative after the game yesterday. But Dino kind of talked us round, actually, funnily enough. No, basically what you were saying, how unlucky we were, and then I actually looked at the stats and I looked at the highlights later on when I got in last night. Thought, actually, he's right here. We actually did create a majority of chances.
It's one of them games where you lose and you're like, how did we deserve the win? Normally when we lose, we're like,
and don't get me wrong, we did not play great at all, but I do think when I say great, I mean going forward with attacking effectiveness and really looking like slick and all that. Yeah. We did play well enough to get something out of the game, I think. And even a couple of Shrewsbury fans said that. Was it the couple that you interviewed said that, if on another day Sunderland would have scored probably 2-3 goals?
I thought we deserved at least a point at that game. Yeah. I mean, like you see hitting the
one shot for them. If I'm correct,
and he's got that goal, and they've done the same as Wickham done. They've got the goal and just put it behind the.
Well, that's a problem for us. We can't break a team down who sit back. So that's a problem.
Which is also why I say we need to keep clean sheets.
Big problem.
But the point is that the difference is, at least with Shrewsbury, I saw enough there to say, right, if we get a bit more ruthless, we can go upwards.
Yeah, and it's sort of weird film out like that's becoming a massive problem.
The thing is, right,
4 defeats now on the road.
What I think is, you create your own luck. Simple as, if you're the better side, you win the game of football. You keep a clean sheet, like Michael says. You win a game of football, you get a draw at least. So was Lady luck against you? Bollocks. You make your own luck.
Really? With that.
You make your own luck. Yeah, you make
Honestly?
your own luck.
No, I'm not with that. Sometimes luck does factor into games.
I think you're wrong there, because I've seen Man City torture teams and still get beat.
Well, put it this way: when we
score goals, haven't they?
Yeah, but how many times have we played Man City when they probably battered us for 90 minutes and we've just took one chance? You can't say that. You can't say that or none of that is unlucky from their perspective.
We put the ball in the back of the net. They didn't. It's not unlucky. They haven't got the place to do it.
Well, it was luck, because the game I'm talking about was it G was offside.
But
Lady Luck.
What you seem to be suggesting is that Shrewsbury are better than us, but yet they're lower than us in the league.
Tell you what, on the day, they put the ball in the back of the net. They kicked the ball on the ground. It went in the corner, in the back of the net. We hit the woodwork 3 times. We didn't put the ball on target.
Remember this when we win a game and we don't play well. Then.
Well then,
remember this when we win a game and we don't play
end
well.
End of the day, we were the best side on the pitch, but we didn't win the game because
for me
we weren't good enough to put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, we have got the players, we just didn't get the look.
Sometimes lack of quality does come in for it, because Maguire had a shot and he practically hit it. Well, one of them hit the post. One of them he nicked the ball because their player played it out badly. He nicked the ball. He hit it straight at the keeper. Right, so that's lack of quality. And on Maguire, he was poor yesterday.
I was.
Mind you, I will admit that the decision making in the final third was shocking.
It was slow, making the wrong pass all the time.
I feel like we've interrupted and trying to make a point about 2 or 3
things.
Yeah,
I know. But like when you look at the game in a whole, lack of quality is just playing a big part in our game going forward. Yesterday, we're just making the wrong passes every single time. All the time, we're just doing the wrong thing.
We run out of ideas. We can't kind of break a team down. Like I say, we need to adjust that, because teams are just getting a goal and they're just defending for their lives. And if we kind of break them down or make that killer pass, then it's going to be a long.
So the next question is: are we moving forward? Do you see any improvement from here than we were under Jack Ross?
Yes.
Yep, straight away.
Yes. We've already kept a clean sheet. We scored 5 goals and 1 in a game, and we're actually attacking teams for a change. We're actually creating more chances than we were under Ross.
I think Wickham was concerning in the way that we didn't attack much until the last 20 minutes.
But that was he only had 2
games. Yeah, and don't get us wrong, but I mean more like that was it. Like I said last week, that was a chance to close the gap in Wickham. We didn't take it.
But they're second.
Yeah, but I still expect us to be able to go there.
How many games have we lost?
I've got stuff for you. We lost 5 games last season, right? In the full season.
We've lost 4 already.
We've lost 4 already.
That's a bit worrying. Like
the team who went up lost 13, if I'm not mistaken, but the 1 more games and only drew 2 or 3.
Is that Luton and Barnsley?
Luton and Barnsley were in the top 2.
You have to remember though, we are the worst side this season than last season. The quality isn't there that it was last season for me. I think we've gone backwards from last season to this season, and now it's about moving forward under Phil Pattinson.
To me though, Catamall's the only player that I think we missed.
6.
I think I personally miss James, I miss Catamall, and I actually do miss Honeyman.
Actually, yeah, Honeyman. Yeah, fair point.
Right.
And McGeady at some point.
Last season, right, the top two teams who went up, one of them lost 7, one of them lost 6.
And Barnsley, 6 and 7, respectively, sorry.
And the team who went up, Charlton, them lost 10.
And that was in the third.
So, in all the if you want to be in the top, if you want to be in the playoffs, you can't lose more than probably 13 games.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And like you say, we drew 19 and lost 5.
Ultimately, the downfall, like I said last year, was drawing at the likes of Scunthorpe, conceding late on against Peterborough and what's the other one, Oxford, not seeing those results out. And even at, like I said, at the end of the day, we still had the chance at Wembley to go up and we didn't take it.
So if we turn 3/4 of those draws into wins and a quarter just of losses, then we will improve.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the draws. I mean,
I know I kind of said this last year, and I'm kind of probably harping on a bit. There is still 2/3 of the season left to go, but we have got to improve this away form, because if we continue this away form, we won't be anywhere near the top 2.
Maybe in the playoffs.
Might not even be in the playoffs. Yeah.
Man of the match?
Denver Hume.
Man of the match?
Denver Hume.
Man of the match?
Hume.
Unanimous verdict.
Thoughts on Hume? Definitely a starter against Southend at home, easily?
I just think, like you say, if McGeady starts, he's going to have to help him out, because he's not helping him out.
For me,
just very quickly, sorry to interrupt.
No, go on.
No, there was a bloke behind me at the away again. It was slating him, saying, "Oh, Hume's the worst player to pull on Sunderland shed." What, you mean the only one of the only players who was actually trying to create anything? Sorry, but all right.
Do you know, last season we had a panic buy with Grigg on transfer deadline day.
Yeah.
And then this season we did the same with LeBoc.
Yeah.
LeBoc's going to be injured all season, isn't he? We know he's going to be injured. You can just tell. Why are we doing this?
Do you think that's the Sunderland criteria? Whenever we recruit players, like, right, are you on technically a good player? Yeah. Have you got an injury history? Yeah. Right, we'll sign you.
I was talking to Dean about this, right? In the summer we've sold Oviedo, Reece James, Donald Love and Alan Matthews, 4 full-backs. And we bring 2 in. We bring Lawrence de Buck and Conor McLaughlin. So you've already got an issue at a full-back and you bring 2 in, and so you've lost 4 and you bring 2 in.
Do you know what's going to be...
It's just saving money, isn't it?
Do you know what's going to be the downfall? You know what's going to be the downfall this season? We've done everything pear-shaped. After Ross failed, we should have sacked, even though I did say keep him on, but when I look at it now, we should have sacked him. He's failed his objective, you get sacked. Simple as that. Anyway you are, if you fail your objective, you get sacked, you get a new manager, new ideas.
I think my way now.
Yeah, a little bit. And I think we've done everything pear-shaped. We've sacked the manager before January.
He's done the damage. Jack Ross has done the damage. And
I think we've got too much to ask for this season.
I do kind of agree and disagree. I still think fans had the right in the summer that said Jack Ross in to have him stay in, because, like I've said many times and I'll continue to say it, Jack Ross had about 12 players and had to overturn a lot. So to finish 5th on to some extent is an achievement, but we can't ignore, he said himself, last season we should have got promoted and we didn't, it was a failure. I think this season, I did say I would give him the start of the season. I'd have personally got rid of him after the Bolton game, which is where it turned for me. But to say that Jack Ross is the damage at the minute, players have still got to do their bit.
We lose all those players last season and we bring in a couple of crocs. Sorry, De Block is a croc.
Right? And you always say something that makes us cry.
I love Matt McNulty to bits, and I hope he can stay fit, but he's been out injured twice already, so why are we getting loanees on loan who are always injured? I hope McNulty stays fit.
Them clubs just want to get them off the wage bill. Do you know what I mean? So it's easy for them if they're injury prone.
Okay, so you've given me the responsibility of reading out this question from Mark W. From Mark W. So we've got 2 questions, so apologies, I'm going to probably read this really terribly. First bit, it's asked about 5 or 6 questions here, really. Right, first one. Should a team be forged around 11 fixed positional players, as we've been doing, if the talent on the team is fairly even? Should players be switched in and out to keep everyone happy? And could changes to the fixed 11 be made only based on injury or a marked drop in performance? So the first one, basically, should a team be forged around fixed positional players if the talent on the team is like an even play field just to keep people happy? So should we be trying to keep people happy, basically? I think that's what he's coming with.
No,
I don't think we should keep people happy, but we should.
Mark, by the way, tell me in the comments if I've butchered and worded your question wrong. I apologise. Come on.
We should have players that are good in positions, in the correct positions, like Dean said earlier on. So we've got a good right back, good left back, good central defenders.
Round pegs and round holes.
Pick your team, the team you actually like, play them, give them a chance to gel together, give them a chance to play a good football if they can, and then obviously any sort of weak positions that are not doing too well, you bring somebody else in who can do that position.
Go on, John.
I just think you've just got to play your best 11, really, and I think you should. I know we're going about McGeady earlier on. I mean, is he undroppable? I would say
he shouldn't be, should he?
No, I think.
So, what is his position?
Bench.
Yeah. At the minute, I would actually bench him. Like last season, I was glad he signed a new contract, but he's not the same player. Like, I just think if players not performing, then you've got to drop them. It's as simple as that. They're not too big for the. Do you know what I mean? McGeady on his day can be the best player in the league, but if he's not producing it, you've got to drop him. You've got to be ruthless, and you've got to not fit the system around him or fit the team around him or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that's what's going on with the 09 thing. We're playing him because he's liked. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we're commentating to play 09 right back when we've actually got a right back on who's an international, right? 09's not international. He hasn't played the highest standard what McLaughlin's played. So why is McLaughlin not playing? Is it because he's playing badly? Probably yes, but 09 is not playing very well at the minute.
What I will actually give you on McLaughlin is that McLaughlin is an international. Well, I don't think he's been good this season. I don't think there's an excuse for him to be poor because a couple of years ago when he was in League One, he got into the League One team of the season.
Yeah, right.
You don't do that if you're not
exactly,
you haven't got anything about you. And if he's in international, didn't he play? Which international team did he play against recently that was really good? Netherlands or Germany or something.
Netherlands,
but
he got beat to.
I mean, his confidence must be shot. And all that. There's a centre mid. He can't get into right back because there's a centre mid playing there.
I think what would help him, and to kind of lead it back to the question, is if McLaughlin plays and then plays with the other back three in the back four that we have at the minute. But if you start it, and then consistently keep it, that's the only way you're going to get any cohesion.
Do you think Phil Pattinson doesn't rate Luke O'Nien as good as the other midfielders he's playing? That's why he's put him at right back.
Possibly.
Didn't he end the Tranmere game further forward though, or was that just because you had the game won at that point? There was nothing to lose.
He went forward, didn't he?
He put McLaughlin on the right back, and O'Nien went to right wing, didn't he?
Something like that.
He's got a bigger engine than some players, so the players might tire. Then you can bring him forward and bring Conor McLaughlin on.
Obviously, I think two managers have decided to put him right back. I think they like him that much. They just want to put him on the pitch, but I still believe that.
I think for me, sorry to actually try and have my attempt to answer Mark's question is, I think you need to have a look at the 11. And I think you need to not base it completely around this, but I think you sometimes need to be a bit adaptable and flexible depending on who you're playing and in what situation and circumstances. That's what the best managers tend to do. They tend to look at different scenarios and think, right, say for example, take the last two games as an example. We've played Tranmere at home, whatever injuries, blah 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 blah. We're at home, we're expected to be on the front foot, so play your more attacking side. And I agree with Dino, we should really be doing that away from home as well, to be honest. But even if you just took these two games in isolation, then you look at Shrewsbury, right? We said, didn't we? After the Tranmere game, Shrewsbury are not going to be pushovers like Tranmere were. It's going to be a much more physical game. It's going to be a much more of a battle and a muchness. And you need players, exactly. And you need players who are going to be able to adapt to that situation. So, I mean, like I said, part of the question was, are we?
It's a tricky question. I can't see what the question.
It may very well be me wording it absolutely terribly.
So what's the second question then?
Second one.
Cheers, Mark. Anyway,
cheers, Mark. Again, Mark. Tell me if I've worded it wrong, and I'll never have to read out your questions again. Not much of them. The second one he's asked: how long does or should it take for a team to gel into a cohesive unit? And he says he guesses a follow-on question. Actually, I'll read the follow-on question in a bit. We'll answer that one first.
I know that. It can't take that long. Look at Bolton.
That's a fair point, actually.
What's the question again? The question
is that how long should it take for a team to gel into a cohesive unit?
Well,
Dino's right. To be fair, if Bolton can put
professional players 4 or 5 games.
But isn't that what pre-season's for? I mean, I know it depends on obviously when you sign players and when players come in and out of the side.
It's not for pre-season. Look at Bolton. They signed everyone on the last day.
No, my point is though, pre-season is the when you sign players, then that's the ideal chance. That's what it's there for, to try and gel people into a unit. Find out what your best system and best 11 is, and then stick with that.
Jack Ross went with a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 in the pre-season.
I mean, we went
tried that into the season, and after 2 or 3 games, he went.
I know. We already talked about that in the first couple of pounds, didn't we? I think you shouldn't. It entirely depends. I mean, obviously, sometimes you just got to account for player chemistry because some players work better with certain players. It's a way of balancing everything, though, isn't it?
Well, I think, going back to the question, I think the back four now. I mean, I was for the Bok, but it looks like he's going to be a crock, so it's going to be the back four. But bring McLaughlin in and just try and just get that forward defending. You know what I mean?
But it is shocking how our number one left back's a kid, no experience, and now you've got to start somewhere. But like. You're putting a lot of pressure on the lad. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I mean, letting James go was questionable, but I've said my piece on Oviedo, but James was something.
I think Lynch and Willis, I think that the other two centre halves,
those two, barring injuries or suspension, those two centre backs, barring injuries or suspension, have got to stay the same.
You know what? In January, would you not go out and get that Shrewsbury centre back, that Beckles?
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
He was a monster, him.
Gives us another option, I would.
You know what I mean? He's quick, tall, and he knows the league.
I think we need full backs, mate, in January. Like.
That's
Okay,
true,
and
actually.
the follow-up question Mark asked was, how many players does it change? How many player changes does it take within a team for it to be considered starting anew?
And what, like, say that again? How many changes it takes?
I'll read it again. It's basically, let's see if I can with it. It's just basically how many changes does it make? How many changes should it take before we're saying it's a new team or it's a new sort of like? So if you changed 5 or 6 positions, is that
4.
starting with a new team?
4.
Sorry, Mark, again if I've butchered it. But, I hope I've read it right.
Right, so move on to Oxford. Thanks, Mark, for the questions.
Aye, cheers.
Very
Cheers,
interesting. Oxford during the week, cup match. Is it the quarterfinals? It is the quarterfinals.
No,
on
it's round
Tuesday night?
16.
Round
If we
16,
win,
aye,
it's the
aye.
quarterfinals.
So, thoughts on Oxford at the weekend? Are we going to beat Oxford at the weekend on Tuesday? Are we going to beat Oxford on Tuesday? And do we change a lot of players, or do we keep a strong side and go for the cup?
I think we probably do need to keep a strong core for morale. Say, look, lads, forget Shrewsbury. It happened. You've got a game, a chance to get to the last day of a major cup competition. You know, I can understand the argument. I think it's one of. Well, I'll ask you this. I'll answer your question with a question. How would you feel if we lost to Oxford on Tuesday?
When we bothered one bit.
Still want to win, but obviously,
You'd be less bothered, wouldn't you? I mean, obviously, I want to win. I want it's a chance to go to the quarterfinals. Let's be realistic. Even if Oxford are, even if Oxford are a good side,
Right, this is a stupid question, right? But once say we won that cup, right, we got into Europe. Imagine being a League One team in Europe. That would be stupid.
Sunderland's the knack of being the first for everything. Like, as long as we get promoted the next season, yeah.
Nah, I just think we made the same mistake last time, playing too many games in a calendar year. Just get out the cups and go on the league.
Well, the simple option for that though is just get knocked out of the FA Cup and the Leeson.com trophy early.
I know you never get into a game where you want to lose, but looking at how you're like, you know,
If it was let me rephrase it. If it was a game we could do with losing, or we would say we wouldn't be down about losing.
Yeah.
Like, look, of course, come Tuesday, I want to win. Of course, I will. But if we were to lose, I would say, look, we didn't get the quarters, but yeah, at the end of the day.
Well, look at it this way, right? You beat Oxford, then next round you get someone like Man City and get absolutely pumped.
10-0.
Right? 10-0. Morale gone
right down.
Or the opposite, you beat Oxford and you get caught and get what was it?
Colchester. Is it
Colchester or what's his name? Crawley.
Crawley, you beat them, you're going to come up against a big team, get hammered, and then just your morale's down there. So for me, no, just get out the cup.
What do you think, Mark? What do you think?
Play the Finnish players and just give like Kumbi and McGeady and just give the Finnish players a game and try to win the game. If you lose, then it's not the end of the world.
Put it this way: mix the team up a bit, because I still believe majority of what we had should be good enough to win anyway.
Score predictions, Dean?
Well, for the Oxford game,
yeah.
Does it go in extra time or anything like that?
It goes straight to penalties if it's after 90 minutes.
I reckon it'll go 1-1 then pens.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Sunderland.
Very quickly, do you know who's going to win on pens? You have to see who's going to win.
Us, because we've probably got more experience in penalties.
Okay, I'm going to go the same as Dino, 1-1, us to win on penalties. But I wouldn't be shocked if Oxford beat us.
I said 1-1 as well in my preview yesterday, so I'm going to say 1-1 as well and win on penalties. So now we move on to Southend.
Okay.
Sol Campbell, new manager, and I wish Sol Campbell all the best. Hope his team
after next weekend.
Hope his team improves throughout the season and they survive, but obviously after the Sunderland match. So, Sunderland against Southend. Do you think Gooch will be fit for the Southend match, or do you think he won't be risked?
I hope he's fit, but if he's not, then he probably will. I wouldn't shock me if Parkinson stick with the same 11 that started yesterday, to be honest.
So if Gooch is fit, do you think Parkinson will have the guts to play the same 11 as he played against Tranmere?
It depends whether he's fit enough to play the whole game, or if he feels he's better just coming off the bench. I think going into this game, I think the pressure on Sunderland's more enormous than ever, because I know Sol Campbell's just come in, but I think that Southend have conceded 10 goals in their last 2 league games.
7-1.
Albeit, to be fair, one of them were down to 10 men. I think we might be down to 9 men.
Let's not go off that stat, because we had that at Bolton.
What was the score yesterday?
Lost 3-1 to Ipswich.
Right.
Which, granted, Ipswich are one of the best teams in the league. So
what's your score prediction for the weekend then?
I think we'll win 3-1, but I'm expecting a victory here. Anything less, I'm sorry, we might as well write off the season.
And what system would you play?
Any that wins the game.
3-1 and a 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
I'm not going off how many goals I've conceded, because we said that against Bolton, we nearly got beat. So I'm going to go 2-0, we're going to keep a clean sheet again.
All right, I'll play reverse psychology. Right, Southend have scored in their last 2 games. We've got no chance of winning the game, no chance of a clean sheet. There you go. I'm going to be you now this time.
What do you mean, baby?
Last week we have got no chance whatsoever of keeping a clean sheet against Trent. So I'm going to use the same reverse psychology against Southend.
That's fair enough.
Hopefully you're right.
Would you make any changes, used to, for the weekend? Who would you bring in?
Yeah, I would bring in McNulty. I think, for me, I watched Greg. We're playing through balls to Greg, and Greg was getting outpaced all the time. Greg's not a player who's going to run onto a ball. He hasn't got the pace. For me, McNulty will have that pace.
I think even if you take out the stat about Southend's last 2 games, their defence has been quite leaky. From what I've seen of it, this season has been very leaky. So we'd be criminal not to get players forward at every opportunity and to try and test.
I would definitely, probably, if we're at home, I'd go 4-4-2. Play 2 up front, McNulty and Greg.
That's what I was going to say.
I'd go with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously I would change. I'll put what's he called, McLaughlin back right back as well. I suppose.
Maybe drop 09 for one game. Maybe.
Just leave him out.
Unless you want to change him for Dobson, because Dobson's probably 1 yellow card off being suspended. Or do you risk him getting a yellow card and then be suspended for the next game?
Or do you take out Power and put 09 and Dobson through the middle?
I actually think Power's going to be our new captain under Parkinson. You know.
Good do.
Yeah,
seems that way.
I do believe that.
That way.
What about you, Mad Mistake? Yeah.
I'm going to go for a 3-0 home victory, another clean sheet, and personally I would... I'm not quite sure. I thought our midfield at the moment, I'm not quite sure whether... Is Dobson actually... Is he playing really well at this moment in time? Is he having some good games? Do you think he's...
Maybe could do him the world of good to be dropped for one game, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I'd probably keep the same team as we played against Tranmere, but like I said before, I'd keep Dobson as a holding defender and have Max Power going forward.
Do you know, I've just noticed something, just on a quickly different note, very funny. What have you... So we've gone for us to concede, and we've used to gone for a clean sheet.
Yeah.
We noticed that last week, Dean and Mad went. My mistake went for us to not keep a clean sheet against Tranmere. We did, and now it's the other way around. So in Southend, we're thinking we'll concede, and the other two think, oh well.
And if Gooch is not fit, who would you? If for instance, if Gooch is not fit, would you start McGeady or would you bring somebody else?
You know what? I'm going to say something a bit risky. I'd go 09.
Up there rather than
He's got
a stint on the wing.
He's got the legs, and he'll actually give Hume some support on the wing.
Yeah. Good shot.
He's got the energy. Play at 09 on the left wing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
That's where McGeady was playing yesterday. He was on the same side.
I can't remember what home game it was. I can't remember what game. Actually, it might have been Kidon, to be fair, where 09 has got energy and he can actually relentlessly press the opposition. And in a team that is defensively letting a lot of goals, the last thing they want is to have players pressing them at every opportunity. So yeah, that's not a bad shout. Actually, I wouldn't be against that.
Right, so I'm going to end the show now. We're still looking for volunteer reporters and camera people. And you can email us at SAFC Fan TV 73@gmail.com. And tomorrow night we have a special interview with the one and only Gary Bennett. Absolutely one of my favourite heroes of all time at Sunderland Football Club. Brilliant. So there we go. Right, we'll catch you later and hopefully we'll be in the next round of the Cup.
Fingers crossed.